Welcome back to the Bringing the Magic Back Home podcast. So, today I want to talk about imitation versus homage. Homage. Yeah, I wanted to talk about that this week. I feel like with these episodes, I'm going to try to do them like every week. I feel like weekly thoughts, things that are like in the forefront of my mind, and capture that. And what's really been on my mind is imitation and homage. I recently, back in June, I had a meeting with one of my friends, one of my close friends. We've been meeting up with each other, just holding each other accountable for our projects, the things that we're interested in, and sticking to dates, checking in on each other regularly. And it's been really, really wonderful. We was at the New York Public Library, and I was talking to her about my scrap series. If you haven't seen my scrap series, I've posted a lot of shorts of me making them. They're 4x6 canvas panels, and I've been collaging my film photography on them. And it's me speaking on my journey as a photographer, because when I first started, I really had small knowledge on the camera. I took one class in college and then picked it back up after my grandmother passed away so that I could get more back into community, go outside, for mindfulness, walking slow, seeing like what's in my path, appreciating the life that I'm living, because I was just, in a really dark place at the time. And scraps speaks on like the scraps of light at the time that was bringing me out of the darkness, and not having so much knowledge on the camera, but feeling this closeness and the connection to the camera because it was given to me by my grandmother. And how helpful that was, me just having this scraps of knowledge and going with that, moving with that, having action towards it because I was interested in it and it was helping me and I was just moving with it. So that's what the series is about. And I was speaking to her about how I would potentially showcase it, how I would potentially showcase the pieces. And back in my early years of creating art, I was really interested in typography. So, typography is when you merge letters and artwork. Sometimes it's visible, sometimes it's not so visible, sometimes it's not so clear towards what the artwork is about. Sometimes it's just this collection of words either close to the artwork or actually inside the artwork. And I watch artist talks all the time. And recently, Lorna Simpson had a show at, I think, the MoMA. I think she had it at the MoMA, but I didn't get a chance to see it because I was taking my summer class to the Jack Whitten exhibition that was happening around the same time. But one of my friends went to go see it, and she was showing me some of the work when she visited the exhibition. So I took it upon myself to listen to some artist talks with Lorna Simpson, just so that I could get closer to her as an artist and know exactly her process in creating. She was also having the conversation with her daughter and Thelma Golden. I love Thelma Golden. Always admire her. So it was just like a wonderful conversation that I was like, yes. Some of her pieces that was in the conversation and also in the exhibition was her photography that she had typography next to. And I was immediately inspired. I was like, wow, I was just thinking about, I'm making these, collages of photography. I really thought it was so interesting the way that she used text next to her photography and the ways in which she intended a thought process for her viewer. That intentionality was inspiring to me, as well as I'm really interested in tarot cards, oracle cards. And when you have oracle cards. Sometimes, majority of the times, they come with a book that is a description of each card. And they'll write out a description, but then they'll also have like connective words with it. It's like themes or like connected like words that are like basically summarize what the card is about. And I felt all of that was aligned with me, my growth, and the ways I've created rituals in my life, reading ritualistically, pulling cards and tapping into my intuition ritualistically, being one with nature, being slow and taking my time in the present in nature ritualistically, and writing words, text is a part of that journey. That's why I want to do it even more. That's why I want to write more. That's why I want to talk more, because I have, oh, a mosquito's biting me right now. Oh my God. Wow. Got to lick off me. I'm outside. Wow. Writing words is aligned with my art, and I was like, I want to do that with the scrap series, because I was making a piece recently and that's what it called. I was like, oh, like maybe I should write this and this and this and this. And then I was like, oh yes, Lorna Simpson, and oh yes, the oracle cards, and oh yes, like it was just like all coming back to me. So when I went to go meet my friend at the library, I was like, hey, check out this idea. And she was like, girl, like, listen, imitation is not flattery. I showed her the references of Lorna Simpson, and she was like, imitation is not flattery. Imitation is not flattery. And I took heed to that, and I was just asking her questions on, like, why she thought it was imitation. Why did you think, like, why is it imitation? And like reassuring her that I wasn't going to do it in the exact same way, and that I wasn't going to claim it as my own, or and then I think of, what does that even mean when it comes to like collective consciousness? Like, who thoughts is really ever their own when it comes to like social media, and like how deeply ingrained we are in pictures, text, information that's just spewed out? How much of us is really double checking and fact checking the information? Or are we just holding it in back of our subconscious and claiming it as truth? And if it does help you and it does shape you, why not call it by name? Am I supposed to be like, oh no, like I can't say that specific thing because I seen it from somebody else doing it, was resonated with it, and I started practicing it in my own life and it helped me? Should I not do it because I saw somebody else doing it, even though it's helping me? Should I not tell somebody, hey, I saw somebody else doing it and then I started doing it and it helped me? I don't see what's the problem in that. As well as, nothing is new under the sun. I think nothing new under the sun is saying that means we are all thinking the same, we are all in the world the same ways, we are all influenced the same ways, we are all inspired the same way, some way, because we walk similar paths. I don't know about similar paths, but for some reason that is like, are we all walking similar paths? But what I did tell her is that I really appreciate the fact that she did check me, because it probed my brain. It did it turned on the gears, because I'm like, whoa, I don't know, for some reason it seemed so like it seemed like I was on trial. I was like, dang, I'm on trial right now. Like, it's like, no, you're not supposed to be doing that. It's not flattering. Ugh. Send her to jail. So I'm like, oh my God, no, that's not what I'm trying to do. Like, and but it made me think, like, how would I do it? So I thought about that, and I'm just really happy that I am assertive and confident, and like really know who I am and how I've been inspired and what actually I am connected to in my life, how, what my spirit guides is bringing me, and how I'm implementing that into my life and not just like ignoring it, you know, not pushing it aside, because I'm really confident in that idea, in that decision, you know. And it really makes me happy. And it really is a testament of my life and my path, you know, like these are the steps that I took. These are the things that I did to bring the happiness and the joy and the magic back into my life after I was in such, you know, a dark place. After the world shut down and I just graduated college with my degree, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna do moving forward. What am I supposed to do? What am I doing? Somebody help me. Nobody could go outside. Nobody was talking. I was emailing professors. They was not emailing me back. How do you go through that shift? Like, it was a really dark time for me, you know? And I feel like for this particular series, it's so meaningful to me. Like, you know, I don't know if it's because I'm like capturing like real moments instead of creating fleeting images in my mind. Because when I draw intuitively most of the time. And I feel like it's a fleeting image I'm trying to capture, a fleeting being I'm trying to capture. But when I take pictures, I'm taking, you know, pictures of my real life. I'm archiving my real life, people that I'm really seeing, places that are really built, ideas that are really tangibly placed out here, you know? So I feel like when I showcase this, I want y'all to know. Well, I want y'all to know. Also, too, maybe because I am distorting my own experiences through collaging them, you know, because I'm like, I'm taking a moment from here, a moment from there, and putting it together. And I know what it means. I could look at the picture and be like, oh, that was from that day, and I learned that. Or I experienced that, and it showed me that sensation in my body, and it triggered something that I worked through further. And I feel like I want y'all to know those things. Here's a term. Here's this is when you look at this, think of this way. Respectfully, I don't know. That's just where I'm at with the piece. I feel like it's nice when it comes to my drawing because I am drawing intuitively. I'm like, I'm interested in like what the viewer sees, what the viewer comes with, because I don't even know what I'm drawing half the time. I'm going, you know, I'm creating as I go along. And I'm like, hey, what do you see? That's interesting to me. I like that interaction. But when it comes to my photography, it's a new journey for me. You know, I'm creating different potions, if you will, different concoctions with this new way of expressing myself. Text, typography, I feel like they belong together. Also, the newest resident at Worthless Studios. Her name is Lila Anne Marie Stevens. She is a perfect example of paying homage, of being inspired, and that's also what made me want to speak about this in this episode because I recently seen in a newsletter that she's the newest resident. And she is inspired by Audre Lorde work called Zammy. So she has a photography series that spans over, I would say, like maybe like 3 or 4 years from what I read, and her photography series is called Zammy. And it's in her description, it's in her artist statement that she was inspired by Audre Lorde, so she calls it by name. Hey, this is my version, and I was inspired by this thought leader. And also, it just relives the ancestors that passed on, these thought leaders that have changed the game and have changed lives with their thoughts, with their words, with the action, with the alchemy of putting their thoughts into words and writing it out, taking it into action and giving it out to people and continuously speaking and going to conventions and going to different continents, and it's just done. Is no way. That is still in the universe. Like, that's still out in the air, is still here. So why not call it by name? And according to the new Oxford American Dictionary, homage is a special honor or respect shown publicly. Hope you listen all the way through. Second episode, second episode. You second episode. I did it. I did it. I'm so proud of myself. Gang, gang. Ooh, ooh. I hope you have a good day. Hope you have a good week. I'm gonna tap in with y'all next week. Keep licking them ones. Bring the magic back home. Bring it back home. After you done with what you doing outside, bring that magic back home.